equity in health is also a big thing, which is one of the 17 SDG goals of United Nations, which we have to achieve by 2030, right? So that is the main thing which was, spoken by Professor Padma Vibhushan, Dr. Mashelkar, is equitable equality we always spoke about, but equitable. So here, if you see, even United Nations speaks about equitable access to quality and affordable healthcare. How can we Indians, starting from our students, our scientists, our faculty members, how can we work towards achieving that in India? You know the concerns and challenges of our country. High volumes, socioeconomic strata. We are aware of, we have different verticals of from allopathic medicine to Ayurvedic to Unani to homeopathy. So there were so many facets of our healthcare system, plus diagnostics and interventional Medicare. So I remember speaking to Shidhay madam that, with pharma industry 4.0, if our students don't gear up for artificial intelligence, use of cloud computing, robotics in pharma industry, which is going to pan out in the next 5 to 10 years, our students in the team of manufacturing and operations and also quality control and assurance may falter when IT experts join the team, which they would eventually. Right? Automation is going much beyond, what we knew as automation, right? Which we knew as Industry 3.0 in pharma. So I feel artificial intelligence is very, very important to be, at least the basic insight students should have, so that they do not falter in their workplace and they do not feel as if they don't know it. So we equip them with that information. Likewise, data analytics in healthcare, big thing. We have seen how pharmacoeconomics and healthcare related pragmatic decisions, objective decision making is absolutely based on data analytics. And today we are dealing with data which is huge in volumes. It is not possible to do it individually in a manual manner. So use of data analytics is a very important tool, which can not only apply to healthcare per se, clinical trials, but also in our research in the universities and the colleges. Clinical data management, another one area where there is bulk recruitment of our students. And if we can train them in CDM, the jargons, the concepts, the lag time or the buffer time required for students to get their industry training and get work ready in their respective jobs would reduce. And that will be a value add which institutes will offer, to the industries and the companies which are recruiting their students, where this course is offered as a value added course. And IPR, lesser said, we have been, remember TIFAC during the 90s, we came to understand the importance of patenting. And when we talk about Make in India, Atmanirbhar Bharat, especially in diagnostic and devices and healthcare, COVID-19 was a eye-opener, and we understood the importance of being dependent on our own resources and also sustaining it, for this generation and the future generation. So I feel intellectual property rights and this protection is very important for us to innovate and to protect our products and ideas, so that we can make them in India and also probably scale up and commercialize in rest of the world. So that is what the advantage, and it can be a small idea. The other day, some examples which Dr. Mashelkar gave was by students who have just passed out in their 20s, coming out with some very non-invasive, wonderful methods of anemia testing, of at home entire blood, what we do it in the ICU, blood parameters, vitals at home at fraction of the cost. So this, the out-of-the-box thinking of the youngsters is something we can leverage on by equipping them with this knowledge. So I think it is a very good, endeavor by Dr. Supriya Shidhe, hosted by VES College of Pharmacy and their faculty. Thanks to the faculty of VES College and Madam and the entire team of Board of Studies in Pharmacy. all who have joined us today, the resource persons, faculty, I would request, madam, that you record the sessions and then project it as a YouTube link to all the teachers, and even required to the students, because what happens sometimes, students need induction to understand why they should opt for a value added course. So you can do that so that they can just watch the video and take a call whether they want to take it or not. And that will be a good sort of a induction. You need not take separate induction programs, and your resource persons are going to give an excellent splendid series of overview of what these courses are all about and their applications in the job life, in other aspects of the professional life. With this, I would like to thank ma'am for giving me an opportunity to speak in this orientation session. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very much, ma'am. We have been fortunate enough to be backed by you and Board of Studies Pharmacy, a team of dedicated staff who are well versed in their job. I now invite our principal ma'am and chairman, VES Pharmacy, University of Mumbai, Professor Supriya Shudhe, to explain the nuts and bolts of the program. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Dr. Neha. At the outset, I would like to welcome Dean, Faculty of Science and Technology, University of Mumbai, Dr. Anuradha Majumdar. Madam, thank you very much, madam, for gracing this occasion. I also welcome the speakers of the day, the industry experts, Dr. Sadhana Sathe, Professor ICT, Dr. C.D. Deshmukh, Director VES Business School, uh, Dr. Devend Babre, Director Analytics and Benchmarking, Digital Analytics and Performance, GSK, Dr. Vijayalakshmi, Vice Principal, VS Engineering, VS Institute of Technology, and Mr. Sunil Patil, co-founder, InnoRim. Uh, I would like to first mention a few words about our team. Madam, thank you very much for your compliments and your encouraging word for our Board of Studies. But I must accept that all this thing was made possible because of your guidance, your leadership, and your trust in our board. Because all decisions ultimately has to pass through number of levels, and because of your presence, everything got facilitated. Not only that, you have thought of many things and you have shared it with me, and then it was my probably sincerity that I trust you and I wanted always to keep your word. So I gave my best to fulfill the commitments and to live up to your expectations. We are very proud, madam, that a pharmacy fraternity represents Faculty of Science and Technology. It's a huge faculty, and all technocrats are there in this faculty, and you from pharmacy is heading it. That itself talks a lot about your competency, your abilities, your aptitude, and your opening remarks were very apt. You have set the right tone for this program, and you have very aptly mentioned about the significance of all these four programs. In fact, I'm not exaggerating when I am saying that madam is the these all programs are probably grandchildren of madam. Madam was constantly uh, following up with me and our board for uh, for giving something in the domain of artificial intelligence, data analytics, and all those matters which are important in the today's scenario, which has lot of industry relevance. Now we have a challenge that we could not include it as a part of curriculum because all, as we all know, we have to follow the national level curriculum that is given by Pharmacy Council of India. Then we were thinking in what way we can introduce it so that our students get the advantage of it and they also become industry ready with all these latest technologies and trends that are being followed in healthcare. So we thought of conceiving the idea of value added courses, and these value added courses should have some kind of status, some kind of statutory approvals. So we approached director board of examination and evaluation, Dr. Vinod Patil sir, and he said that the pharmacy colleges affiliated to University of Mumbai can take up these courses, and you can just circulate to the university the list of students who have completed these courses successfully, And we also got the certificate pro forma approved by the dean and by the director. So the certificate will be signed by the host institute who has delivered this program, as well as by the University of Mumbai. And that is how the credential for this course would be very high. The state university is affiliating, or rather approving this course. It itself takes the course to the next level. And this was possible because of Dean Madam's presence and Director Vinod Patil sir's cooperation. So we are here now. I'm going to give you a brief about these four courses and what is that which is expected from the affiliated colleges. But before I give you that short briefing, I must acknowledge the speakers who are there today, the industry experts, starting with Dr. Vijayalakshmi Madam, who's Vice Principal of VES Institute of Technology. So this course was designed under her guidance. Also, our team, especially Mrs. Pradnya and Dr. Neha, they have referred to NPTEL portal. They have also referred to RUSA syllabi, and accordingly, they have modified the syllabus for AI in healthcare. And Vijayalakshmi Madam, with her team of Institute of Technology members, have done an immense contribution into it. Not only that, their team, under Madam's guidance, has delivered this course last year for our college. And this was taken so well by our students. It was really well received. And though we are pharmacy people, we understood every bit and piece of that course. And we also, Madam has made sure to make it explainable to people of pharma background. And that is how our students found it very interesting. And so we dared to take it to the next level of university because we have experimented it and it has given us a success. Thank you, Vijayalakshmi Madam, for your contribution. Thanks a lot for that. Uh, Talking about data analytics, we in our VES family, we have an expert in this field, data analytics, and he is Mr. Sachin, Dr. Sachin Deshmukh, who is director of VES Business School. So Dr. Deshmukh has already earned name and reputation for his expertise in data analytics and big data overview and studying it in the statistical point of view. So we were wondering whether our pharma people, pharma students would be able to take it up. But he gave us a confidence that if they have a basic statistical knowledge and they have basic maths knowledge, they will be able to learn and they will be able to apply it also. So this course was done by he and his team in a very experiential manner by giving workshops and case studies, and that is how our students enjoyed that course. Not only that, our faculty members also enjoyed this course. So both these success stories are with us, and only when we have experimented it, we have a confidence that we can propose it to the university level. And we never wanted to keep it confined to only the boundaries of VES College of Pharmacy. We wanted to open the doors to this course to for the entire University of Mumbai, so that every college, with the help of resource persons, can deliver this course for their students. And once that is done, students get a good edge over a conventional pharmacy graduation program in terms of these additional facets. And that is what is the dream, and that is what is the objective of Dean Madam, to propose such type of courses to be introduced. So we are very happy and very glad that University of Mumbai, through her facilitation role, has approved these courses. And very soon these courses will be available on the website of University of Mumbai. But Madam has given us a nod to now go ahead with the orientation program. After this orientation program is over, we are going to share the syllabus for all these courses. We will also share with all of you the certificate pro forma that is created for it. And then, Madam, we are requesting on behalf of pharmacy colleges, we are requesting you to put a word to Director Board of Examination and Evaluation Office that whosoever completes this course, they should be getting the certificate signed by the university as early as possible, so that the purpose of doing it under University of Mumbai will be well served and the students will have good credential in their CV while moving to the corporate life. This is my request to you, ma'am, to facilitate it at the university official level also, so that there is absolutely no hurdle whatsoever till students get the certificate signed. Uh, and then give me just 2 minutes, 1 minute time. I will share the screen with you all, and I will just take you through the uh, a very short PowerPoint which talks about the course. So here we go. We have proposed 4 courses: clinical data management, artificial intelligence, data analytics in healthcare, and intellectual property rights. So for each course, the syllabus that is designed is of 30 hours duration. Why 30 hours? Because if you see the guidelines of NAC or NBA, at least minimum 30 hours duration is required for any course to be called as a certificate course, add-on course. The intake capacity, so the students from all classes can enroll, and we recommend maximum 45 batch size for this course for effective delivery and effective experiential learning experience through this course. And who are going to deliver this course? So obviously, pharma graduates or postgraduates or a faculty of pharma people will not be able to deliver this course to entirety. So they will need subject experts from higher education institutes, especially from the background of engineering or background of business analytics. And also, we need to have the domain experts in the area of clinical research and intellectual property right for delivering these courses and making them practically very much relevant. So we have already defined the titles of the courses, and we have also defined the eligibility for artificial intelligence and data analytics. Any student pursuing undergraduation, post-graduation, or PhD program in pharmacy can take admission for this course. So here, even if he is from first year BPharm, he would be able to cope up because the course is simplified and it is starting with the basics. So any level of pharmacy graduate should be able to do it. For intellectual property and clinical data management, though we can allow entry at any level, we prefer a student completing second year of his BPharm as a right eligible students to take up these courses of IPR and clinical data management, because we expect some pharmacy knowledge to be gained by students before directly going ahead with the application of pharmacy in clinical data management, or the innovative thinking, creativity that is happening for intellectual property rights. Now we are going to have 2 modes of evaluation: the internal assessment, which is a continuous mode of assessment. This is very important because students, when something is outside the curriculum, students tend to take it lightly and they just attend it for the sake of certificate. Then the purpose of this program will get lost. It is very important that they study the basics and they are able to apply it through problem solving or case studies. So we are proposing 4 quizzes intermittently placed during the course, and this quiz for facilitation by the faculty for assessment, we are proposing the MCQs, but which are very much application oriented, and each MCQ, each test is of 20 minutes duration, and 10 questions will be set, each of 1 mark. Then towards the course completion, there has to be an end semester exam, which will be of again in the form of a MCQ, but the duration will be for 60 minutes, and there will be 30 MCQs, each of 2 marks. So, in order to have a good transparency and ethical practices, we propose to have multiple such sets to be uh, framed by the institute while conducting these quizzes, so that there is a fair way to attend the quiz and there will not be any malpractices. Then grading of performance. So there has to be some passing criteria. So the grading scale we have used same as that described by Pharmacy Council of India. So it is a scale on at the from 50 to 100, and if you are getting less than 50 marks, then you are passing that particular course, and you will have to reappear for the exam till you get minimum 50 marks until you become eligible for the grant of certificate. So this is important. Passing criteria has to be laid down. And what is the process for the certification? So as I mentioned, this certification will be, the examination will be conducted by the institute, the host institute, who has offered the course, with 50% as a passing criteria. And after that, once students become eligible for the certification, these certificates will be granted by the institute. But before that, these certificates will be signed by the principal of the institute, and along with the list of students who have been awarded the certificate, all the bunch of certificates will be then officially, with the covering note, will be sent to the office of examination section of University of Mumbai, to the director examination and board of examination and evaluation, for his final signature on the certificate. Now, in this certificate, we will have a logo of both the host institute and University of Mumbai. And then once that reaches through the principal to the board of examination and evaluation, the director will be signing these certificates, and then this will be returned to the host institute. So these authorizations are important. Once it gets authorized by the university, the institute will be ready for awarding it to the student. So that can be done by nice, through some nice felicitation program, so that students are encouraged to take interest in these courses, and they should also understand,
Difficult course.
and they will also be really fascinated by the status that they have got a certificate in particular area. And in fact, we should encourage students to undergo all these four courses which are affiliated to, or rather approved by University of Mumbai. And we are giving autonomy to all institutions to deliver it in the most creative way, by appointing experts from the industry and academia on the board. So that's it from my side, and over to our host for taking this program ahead. Thank you all.
We will now march ahead towards the next value added course, and that is clinical data management. We have amongst us Mr. Deven Babre, Director, Analytics and Benchmarking, Clinical Operations, GSK India. He has leadership in areas of clinical research, primarily in analytics and benchmarking, clinical data management, risk-based monitoring, data analytics, biostatistics, and statistical programming, clinical operations, and pharmacovigilance. He has lead consulting engagements related to automation on E2E clinical trial domains as a domain consultant. He has worked with Cognizant, TCS, Cyphermix, IQVIA, and is undoubtedly an expert in the field of CDM. We also have with us the very humble Professor Sadhna Sathe Madam, Department of Pharmaceutical Sciences and Technology, ICT Mumbai. Madam's research interests include development of new drug substances and dietary health supplements from herbal origin to treat CNS disorders like epilepsy, Parkinsonism, and Alzheimer's disease, and PKPD modeling and biodistribution studies. Madam has over 25 years of experience in academic.
So thank you for my introduction. And let's see, I did this design this clinical data management course for RUSA. I mean, under the aegis of RUSA in 2018, when I met Deven. And you've introduced Deven well, but when I met him, I mean, he's always very busy. And as you said, he's absolutely thorough in this field of CDM and most sought after professional. And therefore, I'm so happy that he agreed to come, I mean, really within a short notice, to orient the faculty about the course structure as such. Now, clinical data management is a function which ensures the data is accurate, it's credible and analyzable. Curriculum of this course is crafted to ensure that the students are made aware of the end processes and the nuances to manage the clinical data. Uh, the course curriculum is as per the global standards, and without wasting any time, I'll give it to the maestro. Kevin, you can take it over from me and explain everyone about it.
Thank you so much. First of all, a great thank you to the entire faculty and Dr. Sadhna for making me a Sachin Tendulkar. I hope I will live up to the expectations. But I'll start with a very interesting quote, which is from one of my best mentor and a famous personality, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam ji. All of us do not have equal talents, but all of us have equal opportunity to develop our talents. And I think today we are here to really talk about one of the entire course that is being purely designed to ensure that we are appropriately able to cater to the requirements of the industry from a clinical trial development perspective. Now, of course, we in industry, without a PowerPoint presentation, nothing can go away, right? So I'm going to take a help of a few slides where we will be able to walk you through that what exactly clinical data management is about and how this course is really crafted upon. Now, the entire drug development process is a very tedious process, and it takes a humongous efforts to derive a molecule right from preclinical stage to approval. Now, data, as the previous speaker also mentioned, Dr. Vijay Lakshmi Madam, that data is a prime area for anything to do, be it analysis, be it analytics, or be it decision making. So, where does clinical data management really fit into the gamut of drug development? If you look at the entire screening that happens from a data perspective, there are number of candidates that screen through, but the ones which are able to make the life is only 1 to 3 amongst the thousands that get selected onto. Now, keeping all this into consideration, with all the other power of data, be it clinical operations, risk-based monitoring, biostats and statistical programming, medical writing, pharmacovigilance, and regulatory, we have really crafted something that is going to be very, very important as a data lever. And when we talk about data lever, it this course, which is 30 hours course, is a mixed piece of theory and practicals. The most important part is that we are innovating ideas to learn, and we are ensuring that we are not complicating things for you, which you can see right now on the slide, but try to engage your trust and enlighten you about how data is going to be tested. This entire thing will evolve governance, traceability, lineage. But on top of it, let me quickly glance through the entire agenda or the course content that is being crafted for you. As we all know, clinical research is nothing but that when the patients or a disease burdened individual who is going through a lot of mental trauma because he is going through a disease, he has to overcome around it, but still he has volunteered himself to provide data so that a molecule, a medication, a device, a vaccine, or you name it, anything that has and introduction towards a human effect, that has to be tested and tried. So the entire end to end, that what exactly clinical data management is, what are the principles of it, what are the foundation stones, what do you mean by electronic data capture, how would you see this data, if there are inconsistencies in data, how do we really try to solve them? And first of all, what is the genesis? Where does this clinical data originate? We know that there are 56 therapeutic areas: oncology, neurology, gastroenterology, are we going to really make you an expert in CDM? And I think that's not the area that we would want to cover. But we definitely want you to give enough knowledge that you are confident enough to go into the industry and share that to bang a job, and also entice them that you know the entire world of clinical data management at an end to end. And again, these are just from an awareness perspective. Plus, the important part is that you would be getting hands on exercises that will actually make the concepts of what is medical coding, when a serious adverse event happens, which is a trauma to the patient, how is being reconciled and what is the data accuracy around it. When we say there is a data entry that is happening by the doctors, how does this data gets queried into the system, and how do we clean or review these? If we are using electronic data capture methodologies, we should be able to demonstrate and show to you what a clinical data management system will really look like. And all these are being coined together to ensure that at the end of the day, when this data is propagated and sent to the biostats team, there are two models which are being taken into consideration. One is the analysis data model, and one is the study data tabulation model. Now, if we cover all these, basically, what I'm trying to entrust on is that this curriculum is precise and it covers the entire gamut of clinical data management. Will that make you an expert? No, but it will make you knowledgeable enough to understand it. Now, it was mentioned that typically we would prefer a pharmacy graduate who is at least into the second year, for a simple reason that when we are explaining a protocol, what is PKPD? How does the interpretation of a protocol happens? How is an ECRF created? Considering some of the pharmacy related details which are mentioned in the protocol would be good to interpret. At the same time, there are so many representations of data, and in analytics you are going to look at the flavor. But this is what we will be educating you, but we will be also taking it to the next level, that how does a typical service agreement is being coined for CDM. What is the difference between quality control and what is an importance of quality assurance to govern the entire data process is going to be encapsulated into this particular course, and is packaged in a very simplistic manner by not covering the jargons per se, but making it interesting to you, at the same time simple for you to correlate it to what exactly this is enticing onto. Now, I'll stop sharing the screen right now. But in today's meeting, you would have seen that people have joined. And when I took this summary of data, there were 48 participants. Out of them, 17 were males, 26 were females, and there were 5 participants who have signed in as a dignitary or either a college name or something else. Now, what is the power of data? We are diversifying and ensuring there is an integrity, a widespread of appropriate patient population, which is now to be considered in clinical trials. So I gave you an example of a power of a data. And at the same time, when you see today's news, right, people say 86% of Maharashtra population is saying, okay, we should go for XYZ. Do they share the sample size, that how much was that 86% out of? And that's very important, because if the survey was done on 2000 people and they are talking about 86%, it is falsely representing the statistics part of it. And now imagine the power of data, that if the data is inaccurate, you would not be able to analyze the outcome. And when you're treating the patients in the real world scenario, you would obviously danger the patients or the appropriate human beings. And hence, clinical data management is a center stage application and a unit which unites and collaborates with other functions. It enhances you as a leader because you get in touch with many functions, and it also orients you towards analytical thinking which you can further develop onto. So this is a stepping stone for you to understand the world of clinical data and then really entice onto, be it automation, be it AI/ML, and be it anything. From the previous speaker, I would definitely say nothing is impossible in this world, even the codes, if you are really looking forward to make that happen. And we can assure you that you will have industry experts, one of the best faculties who would be really educating you, and at the same time they will not handhold you, but they will ensure that you stand up for the interviews from a content perspective in a very confident way. The other soft skills, like how you present yourself, what are the mechanics of giving an interview, how do you present yourself, how do you communicate in the interview, these are some of the aspects that we will try to cover. But we want you to take the ownership that you want to grab a data opportunity in the industry, so for which we both will work together to ensure that we make this as a success. Once again, I would like to thank the entire community for inviting me as a subject matter experts. I've been in this area for past 28 years, and I'll be very honest that I have just learned 35 to 40% of clinical data management, and I'm yet to learn a huge around it, which I'll be doing along with you also. So once again, thank you everyone.
Thank you, sir. Uh, Thank you, Sadhna, madam. Sir has really thrown light on this area very well with this vast experience. I'm very thankful for sharing his expertise and his very valuable time with us. Sadhna, madam, without you, this was not even possible to have sir on board. She was very much instrumental to bring such an eminent speaker to us, and she herself, with more than 100 publications to her credit, such a great researcher. So it is really a great honor to have both of you on board and to talk in this matter. I am sure the audience is enlightened and they have more clarity on the subject now.